After this next two lectures, we have also a short presentation of other societies which work in the field of sustainability. So the Congress will not be finished with a second presentation. There is another slot of, let's say, 15 minutes before we then finish this second Sustainability Congress. Our next speaker is Katarina Novakovic from Serbia. And Katarina, while I will introduce you, you can start sharing your screen for your presentation. Okay, I see you. Hi, welcome. So I hope everything will run well. Katarina, I have known her since, let's say 5 to 6 years now, and she works in a lab in Belgrade, and she's also very interested in sustainability. So this is the reason why I have invited her to give a lecture about sustainability in veterinary laboratories. Katarina Novakovic is a veterinary professional and researcher focused on sustainability in laboratory practice. She works on improving resources efficiency and reduce environmental impact of veterinary diagnostic while maintaining high scientific and quality standards. Her work promotes practical, scalable solutions for greener veterinary laboratories. So this is the title of her presentation. And now, Katarina, you have to go into the presentation modus with your presentation.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you well. Can you make the presentation modus of your presentation, please?
Yeah. I will try because let me see, because I have always something popping out. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Good.
Yeah, perfect.
Is it okay now? Yeah,
it's wonderful.
Good. So thank you so much for inviting me. I have a kind of a double role here today. One role would be to a little bit represent a working group of European Society of Veterinary Clinical Pathologies, a sustainability work group. And the other part would be kind of my initiative, my perspective on what I learned during this my PhD studies on One Health, and I will try to join these two topics, two perspectives. So first, about our sustainability working group, we are now 3 members, but shortly we are going to ask for more colleagues from the society to join. So that would be good to widen our team. So we are 3 now, me, Nazare Saverio. We are founded during SCVCP Congress in Budapest 2024, kind of in response to growing need to integrate sustainability principles in our fields, and also as an initiative of Professor Stefan Neumann. But our perspective is that we are also part of the problem, and we should try to participate in solving it. Our goals are to accelerate the transition toward environmental responsible veterinary diagnostic, mostly sharing knowledge, but what I would stress here, encouraging behavioral changes. And you will see during my talk that I think that this is a key part of the of this transition and changes. Also by providing recommendations on sustainable materials, methods, etc. And our vision is actually maybe kind of imagination, but I think it's a really good one, that laboratories operating with the minimal waste, low toxicity chemicals, and the circular resource use. And the key point is that we are contributing to animal and human health, while supporting the environmental sustainability and regeneration. And I also stress here regeneration, because I think that we are now globally not in phase to talk about sustainability, because we are facing a much more huge problem with the environmental problem, and I think that we need to think further beyond sustainability, regenerative way of thinking, and try to heal what we did till now. Our few ideas now, because we are kind of fresh group, but now we are trying through literature and guidelines review to make open access a knowledge hub, to try to collect everything we can in order to share with you, to connect with the sustainability organization and individuals, and also in the future develop a consensus-based recommendation. And this is kind of thing that we did till now. In next phase, we are going to make it to broader these topics. So in the next part, I will present something that we already did, what we already found. And on the left side of this table, you can find some chemicals that we are widely using every day. And I think that the main problem with this list is that we are not questioning. Can we do it better? Can we change with something less toxic for human, for environment, and in general, what is the option? We are just using because it is. Of course, lots of scientific groups are working on it, but in general, I think that we are not questioning enough. So on the right side, we found we tried to search deeply, but briefly. So in a brief search, we found this, and imagine in some thorough search that is going to proceed, what can we find? And we just need to spread these ideas and to remove these highly toxic chemicals, especially because idea is to change with the low toxic chemicals that we don't need to put it in hazardous waste anymore. And this is something that is something that we are seeking for. For instance, this is a very good paper that we found, and that I think that they are offering a really good alternative for histopathology, immunohistochemistry, molecular analysis, non-toxic fixative. Also, and Professor Stefan Neumann can maybe tell us more, because it's your slide, but one topic that is very important for this for either laboratories and practices, small and large practices, this SNAP fast test, that these plastic frames that we have in test, actually they're just frames. So why shouldn't we find a solution that is more compostable, regenerative, and in generally costing us less than this materials that we're using now? Well, Celine talked a lot about it, about the carcass disposal, but what I found, what I learned and read about composting in hot compost, because hot compost is it has more than 80 degrees. So it's ideal for infectious diseases control, and probably it can be used also in biological waste from laboratories. So this is one topic that can be interesting, and yeah, I would like to hear about this from you, your ideas and thoughts. And this is a very interesting story, and I would like to share this story because it can be kind of a frame for everything we do later in this field. The knot test is something that we use in laboratories almost 19 years, started on 1939. It's used to prove microfilaria in a blood, and not just isolate, but also to identify microfilaria. So we do need a few things to do in this test. And we're using formalin, 2% formalin, but still it's formalin, intoxicable, cancerogenic, etc. But formalin is precious in this test for a few reasons. It's efficient in the lysis of erythrocytes. It's killing microfilaria. It's maintaining a stable pH so we can stain microfilaria, and it's preventing morphology of microscopic examination. But the thing and the question that they stayed silent and without answer: can these requirements be achieved using a safer alternative to formalin? That question was, in a folder, like folder for later, to answer later. And we kept poisoning ourselves with formalin during 19 years. Without posing a question, can we search now for alternative? And you can see that without staining and without formalin, you can just see that there is a microfilaria, and on the other hand, you can see the really good one, Dirofilaria repens, here on the left side. But the question, can we do it differently? Asked themselves a group of Italian scientists, and they conduct experiments and try to find a reagent that can do everything as much efficient as formalin. And actually they found that distilled water can do everything same as formalin. So we kind of poisoned ourselves for 19 years, and instead of that, we could use distilled water. And my question is why? Why we don't question ourselves about so many things that we do? Or why we do just copy paste and believe that this is the best way? And I think that with this story, we can look to other topics, and this mindset can be really important for the rest of our, let's say, brainstorming. Also, you can find really useful articles about greening practices in research. And here I would like to stress, and this is also important thing for the next part, is diagnostic stewardship that is suggested as eco-friendly practices that actually we should ask ourselves, can we reduce ordering and collection of for tests that we repeat constantly, and can we do something on it? Now I will share with you my personal my personal opinion. So this was part of our group work, but this part is something that I was searching during my studies till now, and I found that these questions are very important. And for sure we are going to discuss on the group, but till now it's just my perspective. This is something that I see now. Maybe I'm pessimistic, but I see lots of greenwashing now in a field of sustainability in veterinary labs and in labs in general. And I will share some thoughts about it. So many sustainability initiatives actually are focusing on visible environmental improvements, but they are not actually looking at the whole system, whole workflow. So I think that the main thing that we should ask while analyzing some initiatives that we can hear as agendas, etc., that is the environmental impact is truly reduced or merely transferred to another stage of the system. And some of the examples are, paperless laboratories and digitalization. So is it green, and how? Automation that improving efficiency, but sustainable materials, but they are ultimately entering the same waste stream as conventional products. And in general, we're not assessing a life cycle assessment, but we are just assessing some isolated areas. So paperless laboratories, they are green, yeah. We are reducing paper consumption, digital records and reporting using, etc. But we actually, is it energy intensive? Yes. We are storing data and backup system and everything in that area. We are producing new electronic waste from computers, monitors, and networking equipment. So is it green enough? Also, cloud-based laboratory system. We are, cloud-based and no computer, etc. But you're actually, saving this, saving this data. You're saving lots of data on the clouds, and you use lots of water for cooling systems, and not to mention AI analytics in this case and other. We just started to actually count this in as a issue. Also, laboratory automation, increasing efficiency, reduction of waste, etc. But also, on the other hand, we have 24/7 operation. We are increasing energy consumption. We are using additional reagent for calibration quality control in this case. Also, we are trying to centralize laboratories. We are putting in one center, and this is going to be better than to have more laboratories, etc. But what about transport? And can diagnostic be closer to point of care or not? And can we travel with knowledge and not samples? We talked about data grow, but in general, I think that we're not talking about growth in general, and growthism that is here present, and can something be sustainable if we are not talking about growth, unlimited growth of test volumes can be ever sustainable. And to wrap it up, this part about greenwashing, I would like to say that without life cycle perspective, sustainability initiative may unintentionally become a form of greenwashing. And the most sophisticated form of greenwashing is not making a full environmental claims, because I think that we are now, smart enough to figure out what is a false claim, but presenting technological modernization as a sustainability. It can be, but we need to be more precise and merit more what is the cost and what is the benefit, and to account it all life cycle perspective. These are just some ideas and some topics that I think that we need to be aware, and we need to think about in order to move beyond the greenwashing. I think that we need to measure more before acting all energy consumption, always generation, all water use, and everything in life cycle assessment. Also, unpopular thing to say, but I would say reduce unnecessary testing. This is maybe the only way to be sustainable, is not to do some tests that we shouldn't do. Then we can expand the equipment lifespan. Of course, if you have some more, efficient equipment, we think that replacing the previous one is going to be more efficient, but not if you don't use this the previous one equipment, you are discharging this equipment, that it's still not sustainable. Improve energy efficiency. We do need to think about optimizing some ultra low temperature, for instance. Can we reduce it? Can we reduce standby energy consumption? I think that standby energy is very, very important in labs, and we are losing lots of energy in this field. And also improve laboratory infrastructure. As we said, optimize transportation and logistics. For instance, if you like to use reagent in eco-friendly package, and you think that it's sustainable, think about transportation of this reagent. It's okay, and we should think about packages, absolutely, but also the whole process, not just packages, transportation. And adopt circular economy principles. I think that we are doing a lot of this in general. We reuse, repair, etc. And we could hear today lots of these examples. So we are good in this. Again, to wrap it up, these parts, I would say that in a vicious circle of growthism, I think that we cannot find the answers, because we are trying to optimize a system that may be fundamentally designed to the wrong way, just to grow. And we are assuming that current model itself is the correct one. So I suggest to pose a question, not how can we make veterinary laboratories more sustainable, but how can we reduce the need of laboratory testing in the first place? I know that it's not popular, but I think that this is something that should be one of the goals. Less testing, but more focused testing. To focus on preventative veterinary medicine, better herded population health management, earlier disease detection, more effective nutrition and welfare, and also what about all these breeds, in small practice that we can see all this inbreeding, etc. That we have more and more animals with poor health without thinking in that direction. So my point is, the most sustainable test may be the one that never needs to be performed. And I think that we should think more holistic, and that we should try to find answers in some other fields, not just in veterinary fields and growthism, but we should try to find answers in One Health, planetary health, circular health, permaculture, green chemistry. And we do need, and we do have a lot of debates in these fields. We do have lots of really good initiatives and holistic approach to this topic. For instance, really recommend reading Principles of Green Chemistry, because these principles, yeah, they're about chemistry, but they are actually putting into perspective so many things, and they are really similar to actually permaculture principles. They're also holistic, and they are focusing on the root of problems. They're minimizing the need of external inputs. They are optimizing relationship, not outputs. And I think the most important lesson that we can get from permaculture is that we do need to create system that self-regulate. I know that is kind of a fairy tale, but working in this field, I really would say that it's plausible.
Thank you very much, Katarina, for this very interesting presentation and the view into another field of veterinary medicine. In the chat, there are no questions to this presentation, so everything was answered by your presentation. Thanks again.